What's good? It's Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima.
And this is not another damn
podcast.
Presented by our
damn selves.
So 223.
Yes.
223. Yeah. We definitely gonna talk some basketball. So as good as a 2-3 in this. No Michael Jordan. Talk a little basketball.
Yeah. A little bit of basketball.
Before we get into that though, I want to talk about first Drake. Shout out Soldier Boy. Who's hilarious on that Breakfast Club interview, who didn't even need a microphone on that shit. That's how funny that was. He got up and walked away. You could still hear everything he was saying. So he clearly didn't need a microphone.
Why? Just why is my question.
Certified Lover Boy. It dropped on Friday.
Okay.
Album, yeah. And of course, like now the comparisons are on because I don't know if it's your timeline, but my timeline has been like CLB versus Donda, yeah, and like trying to like pick teams is like and but as music is like why not both? Like
the audio pastor.
I like neither. They're trash. It's like why? Yeah, see what I'm saying? Like why do you have to decide on this? It's like
Mm-hmm.
But I listened to both albums. Listen to CLB. Listen to Donda last week. We talked about and reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the Donda experience, as we called it. Yeah. And then CLB, I listened. Here's my take on both albums. The stuff I like on Donda, I like better. Like the good stuff on that, I like better. But as an overall project, I think CLB is the more complete album. It's my opinion.
Okay.
There it is. I'm putting it out there. Oh,
okay.
Kanye fans gonna cancel me. Move my Chicago past here because there's been a lot of that one. But I think CLB is the more complete project. That's just, of course, a lot of guests on here. Of course, he had Jay-Z made both albums. Surprisingly,
okay.
Jay is on both of them. He's on it.
Jay-Z said, "Hey, I just make appearances now.
I'm a businessman.
Business
man. That's what Jay was on." Have you checked it out at all? Have you checked either album out? Yeah,
I have not.
Yeah, I'm the DJ, and
Shame on me.
I got both feet in the music game, so that's why
right
projects because I got to be able to talk about them. So I listen a lot of this stuff. I listen to for both of us. So that's
right. Because I haven't listened to either yet, but I guess when I buckle down, I can just pop in my earbuds and just. Let it
both
go.
Projects are probably it's not their best work either of them. It's like middle of the road from both. Like Donda is probably it's not a terrible Kanye album, but it's not like the college dropout, late registration, graduation, beautiful dark twisted fantasy era. It's not like
that was a trilogy. Those three, he came out the gate swinging. Kanye did come out the gate swinging on those first three.
I like my beautiful dark twisted fantasy too. Like some people, 808s could go either way, but like
808 was kind of
depending on who you talk to. Some say Kanye had 5 solid albums in a row. Like to me, 808s that's the one that debatable, but those other 4 definitely solid. Those other 4, yeah. But it's not on the level of those. It's like in the middle somewhere. I would say Donda is like in the middle of Kanye stuff.
And you gotta be honest. Like, what artist has had a perfect career where every album that they released was?
Like I said, I'm a huge Prince fan. Dirty Mind was trash though. Fans, that album sucked. Sorry, Prince fans. I know a lot of Prince fans will definitely have my head for saying that.
There we go.
Because that's like early, that's like prime Prince. I think they came out like 1980 or something. So that's like that's before. Like it's not his later stuff. That's his early.
Right.
Stuff. Out of his early stuff, that's the worst one out of his early albums. Like Dirty Minds was trash. So yeah, because I went and listened to all of Prince. I went from 78 to 91. I listened to every album in a row. So it was a lot of listening. It was around his birthday last. 2020, we had plenty of time.
Right.
Like 2020, I was either around his birthday or around when he died. I forget. It might have been around when he died. I want to say it was the spring when I did listen to all of those albums. And I was listening. I was like, this Dirty Mind is not good. Because I never really listened. Because, back in the day, you had to own all of these albums. But now we all own everything. So we can listen.
Right.
But I decided I'm going to do a Prince. I'm going to binge some Prince. So I went up from the first album in 78 all the way up to the Diamonds and Pearls album. Like I listened all of that stuff.
Diamonds and pearls.
Yep.
That was my album.
The wackest album was Dirty Minds. In my opinion, at least, it wasn't good. But Drake, it's probably same with Drake, middle of the road. Like Drake, his Scorpion album was solid, which was his last one. Views, cool. The first album, the Thank Me Later, of course, was a banger. Take Care, a lot of people like that one, and nothing. Was like so.
The single was not. I like Take Care. I like the single. Yeah.
Take Care had some hits, had some heat. Let's see what's on Take Care. Pull it up. Yeah. It's Headlines, Crew Love. That's my shit, Crew Love. We're loving the crew.
Oh, the crew. Yeah.
And Take Care, the title joint.
With Rihanna.
Marvin's Room. Cups Full of Rose. Yeah. So Make Me Proud with Nicki Minaj. Hell Yeah, Fucking Right with Lil Wayne. Yeah, there's some hits on this song. Take Care might be Drake's best album. The more I look at this track list, Take Care might be Drake's best work. I like the first one too with Fancy, Light It Up with Jay-Z, Miss Me with Lil Wayne, Find Your Love. Yeah, it's like the first one was good too.
That's the one. I couldn't think. I was about to say, what's the name of the song? I'm More Than Just an Option. Hey, hey, hey. I was like, what's the name of that song? You just said Find Your Love. I couldn't think of the name of it. Yeah. Yeah, I like that one. I'm more than just an option. Hey, hey, hey. I like that one.
You said it was like Pop Style. Hotline Bling, of course, was the song of that year. And shit.
You know a song is the song when they kids bop it. Because they kids bop that. It's like, I know what the Hotline Bling is going to be with the call you on my cell phone, lay down when you want to talk or something said. So yeah, that was the kids bop. It's like, you call me when you want to talk. I don't want the Hotline Bling. It's going to mean one thing that you want to talk.
Yeah. And of course, the Scorpion album, which I say is a top 3 Drake album. That's one with God's Plan, with the Kiki, Do You Love? I can't think of the name of that stupid ass song. In My Feelings. Yeah, I'm looking at
My Feelings. I can't think of the name of it.
And then A Nice for What? Yeah, with the Lauryn Hill sample.
Yeah, care for me, and care for me.
Yeah, so that's Nonstop was a banger, so that's a good one. But it's not on that Certified Lover Boy. I wouldn't put it on the level of those classic Drake albums like Scorpion or Take Care, which might be Drake's best 2 albums now that I'm looking at these track lists. Yeah. So but I put it in the middle of the road, just like with Kanye. I wouldn't put it on the level of Late Registration and like those the earlier works like that and shit. Which is I was listening. I did some Kanye listening back and trying to get my mind right for the Donda. I went and binged all of Kanye's, all of his solo projects.
Yeah.
Like I skipped the collabos. Like I skipped Watch the Throne. I skipped Cruel Summer. Like I skipped all of that stuff. I just listened to Kanye's solo albums, starting from Ye, the last one in 2018, all the way back to College Dropout in 2004. College Dropout and Late Registration are kind of neck and neck now. The more I listen, I was always team College Dropout for years, and then this last listen, I'm like, nah, it was good too. Heat on this album, yeah. I like them. It might be 1A and 1B at this point. It's pretty close to me. I'm like, yeah, it was some heat.
Wasn't Drive Slow Homie on Late Registration?
And Touch the Sky, yeah. So yeah, it was some.
That's my shit. That's my shit.
Major said it was some certified heat on that album.
Drive Slow Homie was my shit.
Call Wall. Drive.
That's the way the beat. It's just like and then there's the jazz step. I don't know. I forgot what jazz song that was with the saxophone. With the saxophone on it.
How we forget the certified banger and Gold Digger? Yeah, come on.
Yeah, she ain't messing with no broke.
Put his little Chicago house hat on with Addiction that had like the Chicago house flavor to it. Yeah. Late Registration.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Make me smile.
Yeah. That was a good one. It did sound very Chicago.
It's close.
Yeah. Now I gotta go back and listen to
Late Registration and College Dropout are close. Listen now, cause that's what I did. I'm like, yeah, it's 1A and 1B. It's pretty fucking close. For years I said College Dropout, but now I'm not so sure. Like it's like it's there. It's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking about the classic stuff that shows you that I like that stuff better than Donda and Certified Lover Boy.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just saying everything isn't going to be like in any person who is a creative person, whether it be an artist or musician or a director, actor. Mm-hmm. Everybody has like their, like, we could say real talk. Like Ricochet wasn't that good. Denzel, like Ricochet and Denzel wasn't like.
Only weapon I got now is useless unless you're a pretty girl.
It wasn't like when I think about Denzel being like one of the greatest actors ever to do it, I would not show Ricochet as an example of like how good of an actor he is. I would never use that as like, you know,
both Denzel and John Lithgow.
Yeah,
both great actors. It's like, yeah, so it's amazing how that movie flopped like that. Is like, because those are your leads. Like, that's pretty damn good. Like,
you see what I mean? It wasn't a good movie.
Victoria Dillard, she played his wife in that.
Yeah, Victoria Dillard, I like her. Yeah,
the royal penis is clean. Yeah, that's her. If you don't know who Victoria Dillard is, the one who rolls up after cleaning.
Yeah.
Prince Akeem.
And when I look at Simulator and bathe him thoroughly, and she looks and goes,
"The royal penis is clean."
The way she looks over at him, like, yeah, I'll bathe him thoroughly. Like the way she looks at Simi. But yeah, it wasn't a good movie.
Everybody has that point where it's not their best work. Yeah, everybody has that. Yeah,
like this is, yeah.
What?
If you really can't admit that, if you're a true fan, you can admit when people, you can admit that.
Yeah. So where does Drake rank now as far as the greats? Want to really get controversial? Because I've always said, if we compare, like I like as we're basketball fans, I like comparing everything to basketball. I always said Drake is the LeBron James of rap. Yeah. And like, either ride with him or you think he's whack and shit. It's like,
and they're friends too, so that makes it work on another level. I see some parallel, okay, because they're both.
People say he's soft. They say Drake's soft. There's some parallels of both.
They both were raised by single moms, single mom raised, upbringing. They both had different paths of how they got to where they wanted to. They both businessmen who like grew their brand and grew into like LeBron's a billionaire, like his business.
Both benefited being parts of super teams. LeBron in Miami, Drake with Young Money, like they both were part of super teams.
It's some parallels.
I said that he's the Drake is the LeBron of So if we rank in LeBron, like where does Drake rank? Yeah, it's Drake top 10. I gotta go through my top 10, like because Drake. I definitely say he was the artist of the 2010s. That was his decade.
Yeah, the 2010. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would have to go through each decade to see like who was the artist of each one, but it was definitely Drake from 2010. Mm-hmm. It was like Drake. It was his decade. Yeah.
Right.
So who would have been the previous decade? I don't know.
Wayne,
Eminem, so one of those guys.
Somebody like that, yeah.
I have to look at catalogs. I'm drawing a blank right now.
Yeah.
Wayne had a strong decade.
2000, yeah. Well, Eminem did too.
Wayne is who I call the Kobe Bryant of hip hop. Real young. It's like took him a while to really like find himself here. But once he got there, you start saying, okay, Wayne's dope. Like same with Kobe. Once Kobe got there, said Kobe's dope. So yeah.
Okay. I'm liking your parallels. I'm kind of liking your parallels. Kind of like it though.
Of course, my controversial hot take is on Jay-Z is Jordan. Jay is Jordan. Jay is Jordan. Yeah. That's my pick.
And like even like because like he took rap to another level. Like rap, like of course, like rap was a thing before Jay-Z, but then he took it and elevated. Like basketball was a thing before Jordan, but then Jordan just took it and rose the level. Because when you think about basketball, Michael Jordan. That's a word analogy. If you do that, say basketball. Like, what do you think about when you think about basketball, Michael Jordan? Mm-hmm. Like he revolutionized the game.
Oz's pick, so like, yeah, people don't want to get mad. Like people take this stuff way personal. It's like none of these rankings are like official. It's just my opinion. So if you mad, shut the fuck up.
Can we
make your own comparison?
Can we keep the parallels going? Larry Bird and Eminem. A great white person, yeah.
Going eras, I would say Eminem is more Dirk, though, if we go in eras. Because he was part of that same era. Like Bird was a generation.
Oh, yeah.
You want to stick to the same era.
Same era, right. I was about to make
Dirk would be a good comparison, I would say.
I was about to draw because it was like the two white people that was like, we see like, okay.
Which why I picked another cold white boy too. I picked Dirk.
Yeah, Dirk is a good because like you see like, okay, goofy. Like he looks kind of goofy a little bit, but you see that motherfucker cold. Like he cold though. Like you may laugh and say, oh,
Dirk got drafted around the same time Eminem's first album dropped, from not mistaken. So it might
be a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I gotta really think about it. And it's like other but I'm just like I said, these are just my picks. These are unofficial.
Who would be Magic then?
Either Pac or Big would be Magic.
Okay.
I like Pac in that spot. I don't know where I put Big at. Yeah, I like Pac in the Magic spot. I like Tupac there. Yeah, in the urban.
Then when he went out to LA and then he was like real flashy and okay. I'm just trying to like to compare that because like when Pac did go to LA, yeah.
So I guess LL Cool J will be Dr. J, Julius Erving. I could see that. It's a good comparison.
Yeah. That's
without Dr. J, there'd have been no Jordan. Without LL, there's no Jay-Z. So there you go. He set the table.
Okay, he set the table. Okay.
Like Doc was the original, and then Jordan took it here. It's like that, yeah.
Okay.
Doc was the prototype. That's what I look for. He was the prototype for what Jordan became. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah. Because like back like cats like Kareem and them days, like talking about already, yeah, they like Dr. J was their guy. It's like, yeah, Dr. J. Mm-hmm. And by the time we came on, it was like Jordan. And
then they were both with the
now
brand.
It's like LeBron. It's like, yeah, so it's like, yeah.
Because LL wore the Kangos and then Dr. J, the Converse, right? Yeah, so it's like kind of the branded thing.
70s and early 80s, like Dr. J was the fucking man. Like he was the guy.
He was. Like him, obviously, we're not old enough to remember that.
He makes it's like I remember.
Doc, we're not old enough to remember.
I remember older Doc. I don't remember young Doc. I remember Doc.
Yeah, we're not old enough for that. Yeah,
once he retired, like 85ish. So yeah, I remember. Doc.
Yeah, I remember nothing about Dr. J. Obviously,
I remember Doc when he was like Wizards Jordan, pretty much. Like that's older than so I do remember Wizards Jordan. And I didn't see what all the fuss that all of like that the old heads talked about. Like this is your king. I was Killmonger because he was old by then. I didn't like, and we didn't have YouTube. We couldn't look at the old footage. All I had was like I turned on the NBA. Now I'm like, yeah, like this is the guy I was raving. This is the great Dr. J.
To be trying to tell you, and then you're like,
it's the great Dr. J that you all the dad and all the uncles were talking about,
right?
And M and people like that. It's like,
right?
Yeah. I'm like, this is like that's what I looked at. Like, this is Dr. J. This is your guy. This is your king. I was like,
like the same thing with me. Like, I didn't get the privilege of like seeing Showtime in his prime. Like, so by the time
is what I grew up on. That's what
like I said, I was like, my earliest memory is Bulls win Jordan the '89. That's like when I really started getting into basketball around that time. So I mean, that's like my earliest. It's like that point, you know.
Me, when I really started getting into the Bulls was probably a little before that. Is when Jordan did the free throw line dunk, of course. Like that's like in the 63 on Bird. Like it's around that when I really started saying, okay, this Jordan kid is special. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For that, Showtime was my team. No, yeah. Then I started looking like, okay, the home team is starting. Okay,
Mike got some.
Still like the Lakers, but there's something special going on with this home team. I was looking at that. It was around that, yeah. And then once the Bulls came in, the Lakers started declining, and then it's been Bulls ever since.
Yeah.
For me, like, yeah, it's been Bulls.
Because I didn't really see like Bird or Magic in their prime.
I hated the Celtics.
All right, Celtics basketball. That's still my Bird.
I hated that announcer. That's the only time I rooted for the Celtics when they played the Pistons, though. Yeah, I did. Because I hated the Pistons more.
You hated more. You hate the Pistons more, yeah.
So when the Celtics played the Steal by Bird, I actually rooted for the Celtics in that game.
You had your Celtic green on. It was like, yay, it's a Celtic green.
Our cousin Malcolm, like he's our Celtics fan in the family. Yeah.
He just likes that whole region. Like he likes the Patriots. He likes that whole, yeah.
I wonder how he feels about Brady now, yeah, because he's like.
I have to ask him.
Now, yeah.
I'm gonna ask you.
Yeah, like, Brady's still your guy. Yeah, I would like to know it. He won 6 championships in New England. I'm just saying,
yeah.
You can't hate him that much just because he brought all them championships.
You can't.
It's just now he's in his Wizards phase, yeah. But he used to win.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Like Mike never brought a title to the Wizards, yeah. But I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have been mad if Mike had won one with the Wizards. I'm like, okay, yeah, he still got 6 for Chicago, but yeah, let him have one.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't have been mad at that. The Bulls were trash during that time anyway, so I definitely wouldn't have been mad. But well, we talked about that enough. We have any other basketball talk? Because I wanted to go down a rabbit. Since we on this basketball tip, let's go down this rabbit hole.
Okay.
Now, I go down YouTube rabbit holes there a lot. Yeah. I was watching a video earlier about of all things the '84 draft. What if the Bulls didn't get Jordan? Because like a couple of scenarios could have happened. The obvious one would be like if Portland took Jordan at number 2. So Jordan was Elijah Wan, Sam Bowie, Jordan. And I did that right there. So that's why I said Sam Bowie is that, yeah. So I did that right now. Yeah, Elijah Wan, Sam Bowie, Jordan. That goes.
So we knew Elijah Wan was going to go 1. Like
yeah.
he was always going to go 1.
That's the era. People forget like it's not the era now. The era then was like all about the bigs, all about center.
The big man. Yeah.
Elijah Wan, best center out there. Yeah. So yeah. And then Portland wanted a center too. They had Drexler, so they felt they had their guard, which is why they passed on Jordan. But like nowadays, just take the best player available. You figure that shit out later. It's like you don't pass on a guy like Jordan because you need a center.
Right.
Here's what's interesting about that. Here's another scenario on the video I was watching earlier. It was a trade on the table that doesn't get mentioned nowadays. This was like pre-lottery in '84. '84 is the last draft without a draft lottery because teams was like blatantly tanking during that time. Because the way they did it then is like the 2 worst teams are the only teams eligible for the number 1 pick. And then it was decided by a coin flip. Yeah. Like you could like blatantly get into that, yeah. So then David Stern, when he became commissioner for the '85 draft, he was like, "No, we got to fix that shit.
We got to fix this, yeah."
Draft lottery. So he put all the non-playoff teams in the lottery, yeah. So like, they all have a shot at the number 1 spot. So tanking is still there, but it's not as like it was back then.
Right. It's like obviously you have a better percentage of if you tank,
and other teams have a shot at getting it, not just
you're not guaranteed.
Yeah. Not just the 2 worst teams. Like now you got like about 14 teams that got a chance of getting that spot. But back then it was like you had to be one of the 2 worst teams. So like get in there. And it was a coin flip, yeah. So Houston had been blatantly tanking. They had the number 1 pick 2 years in a row. Because not only did they have Elijah Wan, the previous year they had it in '83, which they took Ralph Sampson with.
Oh.
And Ralph Sampson was another a giant. Yeah. Like 7'3" or something like that. He was like, yeah, he made Elijah Wan look small. Yeah. But here's the trade that was on the table. They took Sampson at '83, but then a year later, like Houston saw Elijah Wan, they're like, and he was the better of the 2. You probably don't even know who Ralph Sampson is.
I have no idea.
So I have no idea. Career panned out. It's like they took him number 1 overall the previous year, so he was their rookie, their number 1 rookie from last year. And so they put the trade on the table to Portland, who, like I said, needed a big man. They weren't going to be able to get Elijah Wan, so they put the trade to Portland and said, we'll give you Ralph Sampson for your number 2 pick. Out there. So I had Portland taking that, and then guess who Houston would have taken with that number 2 pick?
Jordan.
Michael Jordan, yeah. So you could have had Elijah Wan and Jordan at 2. That almost happened, but Portland ended up passing because they decided like Sam Bowie, whatever.
Sam Bowie was it.
They taking the Ralph Sam. Remember, this dude was just number 1. It's like, yeah,
right.
Giving you last year's number 1 pick for this number 2 pick this year. Like had Portland taken that, then like history would have been said who the Bulls have taken at 3. I hope not Sam Bowie. I hope not. But in the video that I was watching, let's say the Bulls were a little smarter than Portland, and they passed on Sam Bowie, and they went back because like I'm gonna go to their original timeline. Okay, Elijah Wan, Sam Bowie, Michael Jordan, Sam Perkins, which was Jordan's North Carolina teammate, went 4. And guess who went number 5?
Barkley?
CharlesBarkley.com. Yep, Charles.
I was going to say because the Bulls have taken Barkley. That's what I was going to say because the Bulls have taken Barkley.
And the Bulls could have looked and said, okay, we didn't get Jordan. Charles Barkley, come on down.
Come
on. That would
on.
have been interesting had the Bulls taken Barkley with the number 3.
CharlesBarkley.com.
That's not terrible if they had Barkley instead of
that would not have been terrible if we had Barkley.
That's not terrible.
That would not have been terrible.
It broke down like how the league would have changed. It's like, especially if the Bulls still when it got like the players they got like Pippen and all of those guys. It's like Pippen and Barkley together. That would have been a prime Pippen and Barkley would have been interesting. Like they played together later when they were older in Houston, but like prime Barkley. That would have been interesting.
That would have been pretty kick-ass.
Yeah,
that would have been kick-ass.
Because I think they would have fed off of each other. Yeah, like prime Pippen and Barkley definitely would have been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Houston definitely would have had a dynasty with Olajuwon and Jordan. They definitely would have won. It did not just the two they won when Jordan.
Ain't forgetting Kenny the Jet Smith on that team too.
Kenny,
put some respect on Kenny. Put some respect on Kenny the Jet.
So there it is. Like it's not. It would have been interesting to see like had history would have changed. It's like I think Houston probably would have been a team of the 90s. And the Bulls might have took the other route. Like, let's say Jordan still left to play baseball temporarily, but the Bulls might have won 2 during that year with Pippen and Barkley. They might have flip-flopped the 2 teams like that. Have been interesting. Yeah. The 2 teams could have flip-flopped those years.
Interesting.
Like, it's pretty cool. Like had Portland made that trade and said, we'll take Sampson. We'll give you our number 2 for Sampson. But it didn't work out. So the Rockets had to do the Twin Towers thing. They had Olajuwon and Sampson together, and it didn't work out. They ended up trading Sampson later. Yeah. And then they were kind of a mess for a while until finally the 90s when they finally won back-to-back titles.
Yeah.
Left. Yeah, they were
happy Olajuwon got his 2. Yeah. His back-to-backs rather. Yeah.
He also won an MVP during that time. So I think Houston, they made out okay. Yeah,
they made out a good career.
They got screwed. Yeah, Houston
they did. Okay. Yeah. And they still haven't won.
They got screwed twice. Because not just that, but then years later, they had another shot at it. In 2007 draft, they had the number 1 pick, and they were looking, okay, we got Greg Oden, we got Kevin Durant. Which one of these guys do we take? Oden. So they did it again. And then because they looked at Kevin Durant, this skinny, funny looking kid is like, Oden seems more NBA ready. That's what they look.
Kevin Durant is wiry. He's he's wiry.
He's wiry now. Imagine him as like a 19, 20-year-old kid. Just look how he looked. Yeah. He looked like a kid. They took him at and then so Supersonics took him at number 2, which eventually became the Thunder. Yeah.
Okay,
And the rest was history. Yeah, with that. Yeah, but it's funny like how one thing could have changed the course of history. Like the Bulls forever could have been changed had Portland decided to take up Houston on their own.
I thank you, Portland, for not doing that because you gave us the dynasty that is the Chicago and. No matter what, we could say we got 6 titles. We had 2 3-peats. We could always say that. Like, no matter what, we had 2 3-peats. We ran the 90s. We had 2 3-peats. We got 6 titles. 6 titles in 8 years. We got 6 in 8 years.
And that might be considered the second greatest dynasty. I say the greatest dynasty is like the Celtics 8 in a row. But
8 in a row.
2 3-peats, that's pretty kick-ass, though.
Yeah, you get 6 in 8 years. That's 75%.
Then third, I would say it was the Lakers dynasty. Like you could pick your choice. Like whether
you pick it.
Showtime winning 5 in the 80s, whether Kobe and Powell was like they got options. Yeah. Like the Lakers got you pick your dynasty with them basically. Right. Yeah. So I say that's probably the 3 greatest. I put the Bulls right up there, number 2.
Bulls are 2.
Yeah, talking about just like for that era. We talking about
that era
as a franchise. I say Lakers because they keep figuring it out. Like no matter what, like they just won last year. Like and then they won with Kobe and Powell.
And I say Celtics is 2 because they won 16, right?
16 and I think
they won 16.
17. Both teams
was it 17?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tied at 17. But I picked the Lakers because their 17 are spread out over more eras. But most of the Celtics 17s were during the Bill Russell era, most of them.
Right.
But yeah, Lakers spread theirs out over like decades.
Mhm.
That's why I put them as
And I put the Bulls 3.
right. San
Overall.
Antonio's 4, I would say. Yeah, we're talking about. And as much as I hate to say it, the
The
Pistons.
Warriors. Where the Warriors go?
Warriors. Woo. Where do they go? The Warriors.
I say Warriors is
Warriors
5.
or Pistons.
Warriors is 5, I say.
Mm.
Warriors is 5 because unfortunately they won 73 games. I gotta put Warriors at 5. Even though they didn't win the title that year, but still they won 73 games. Like that. Yeah.
The bad boys or something else.
I say Warriors at 5.
Because they went through to go to win.
Oh shit! Yeah, they went through Showtime.
Jordan, Bird, and Magic.
Oh shit!
All of them in one playoff. So yeah, it might be 5A and 5B.
Yeah, that's tough.
And then they came back again in 2004 and won another one during that era and upset the Shaq, Kobe, Karl Malone,
Kobe Lakers. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, Warriors or Pistons. I gotta think about that. I gotta let that marinate. Yeah.
I gotta put some respect on the Pistons, even though I don't like them.
So it was Lakers, Celtics,
Bulls,
Spurs, and then
I said because the Warriors have to go up there.
73, and they won 3 titles in 5 years. They went to like 5 straight finals, something like that. I think they went 5 years in a row. No team had done that since the Celtics back in the day.
Yeah.
Went to 5 straight NBA finals. Like
they was like, okay, I guess the Warriors are just in the finals every year. We're like, okay, the Warriors are just doing this every year now. That's what they do.
They went 5 years in a row. And they probably would have kept going had the injuries not had.
Yeah.
That got hurt and then left. Then Clay got hurt. It was like the injuries is what they might have kept it going had the injuries not piled up on them. Yeah. They might have kept that going. And if Clay is back healthy, they could get right back there. Yeah. They could be right back there. We got to see how Clay looks. It's been about 2 or 3 years since he played.
I want to see Clay.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling he's going to be like, yeah, y'all been talking about me. Like, where you been? Okay. I got something for y'all.
I want the Warriors to be good again because much as I hate to say it, at the time I didn't appreciate it, but now like I kind of miss the Warriors being good. I kind of miss it. At the time I'm like, fuck these motherfuckers, especially when they got Durant. I'm like, now I look back, I'm like, I kind of miss the Warriors being good. The league has just got a different energy when the Warriors are good, when the Knicks are good, it's just a different energy. It's like when the Bulls are good, it's just a different energy.
Which you're going to be this year. Bulls are going to be good this year.
It's just a different energy when like teams are like certain teams are good. That's why I'm glad the Knicks made the playoffs last year. I'm like, okay, that Knicks-Hawks rivalry was badass. You got fans spitting at Trae Young. It's like, that was a kick-ass series. That was an amazing series. For a first-round series especially. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah. So the Knicks are back, baby. It felt good, like for them. I want to see the Knicks Nets go at it in the playoff. I think that would be sick. Yeah, the Battle of New York. Yeah, I think would be. Sick.
And then if all the guys are healthy in the Nets,
I think some fights will break out because that New York got that energy.
New York. They rough. They rough in New York. So yeah.
Yeah, Knicks and Nets would be. I want to see. I want that to happen. Spike Lee is Knicks, but he's from Brooklyn though, so there you go. But he's definitely gonna be a Knicks fan, even though he's from Brooklyn, but he's gonna be rooting for the Knicks.
Dressed in his orange, seeing his spot there, so you look there, you see somebody dressed in orange. There's Spike right there. He's been in the same seat since '92. That's Spike right there.
The same seat since Reggie Miller was like kicking the Knicks' ass back in the day.
We know when Reggie Miller, when he grabbed his junk, and then his wife was like, His wife was like, oh my God. His wife was like, oh my God.
You can see like,
bitch ass.
You probably said sit the ass down or something like that. But
in front of the man's wife. Yeah. You can see her like.
You saw Spike looking dumb, and he's like, on the bench after Reggie said what he said. He was like,
his wife was just like, oh my God. Like her face was like, ew.
Yeah, did you watch the 30 for 30, the one Reggie Miller versus the Knicks? Did you watch that one?
I have not yet. I need to.
Talk about that, how when Reggie first came in, they were harassing him. They were like about Cheryl's little brother. They were caught. And then Cheryl.
And then Shania did that to that.
Fans were like, and people were like, stop you. Stop. Are you pissing him off and shit? Yeah. And that's why Reggie went nuts and shit and called him a bitch in front of his wife because of this.
And then Reggie had to borrow from Michael, and that's when I took it personal.
He was the last dance before the last dance.
And that's when I took it personal. That's when I took it personal. Okay. Everything is taken personal.
Well, that's one of the my favorite basketball documentaries. That one, of course, Last Dance. I like The Malice. Have you watched The Malice yet on Netflix? I
have not yet. I need to. I need to just go ahead and just do it.
Yeah. Check it out. Especially because that's our era. Like, that's the era we were at.
And it's a lot. And I am off work tomorrow. So, by the time you guys hear it, it'll be today or whatever. But, yeah. Because Labor Day, woo.
I like the Bird and Magic one was good. It basically because their careers basically were like parallel, like their
I think I saw that one. Because weren't they showing like
they started in college when Bird was in Indiana and Magic was at Michigan State. Yeah, so it started.
I think I saw that one.
And then the NBA, Lakers, Celtics.
Did they show the riots that happened in Boston? Like the racial stuff that was
the race. That's how that started. Yeah,
wasn't that on the documentary?
Yeah.
Okay, so I definitely saw because I remember like seeing the racist stuff that Boston. Yeah, the racist.
Yeah. It started out as basketball, but because the visuals is like the Celtics are mostly white guys, Lakers mostly black. Yeah, it's just like but mostly the Celtics mostly white guys, but with Paris the Chief and shit. And then the Celtics was like mostly black guys, but you had Kurt Rambis as part of the fucking show.
Kurt Rambis.
A goofy white dude who wore glasses, not goggles. Yeah, he wore like horn rimmed glasses, like Drew Carey and shit on the court and shit. I'm not making this shit up. Dude played in like Drew Carey glasses. Kurt Rambis. When he got clotheslined by Kevin McHale, they showed that shit was classic. McHale clothes.
I'm sorry. I'm picturing.
Yeah, I'm picturing the glasses. Yeah, he played. He hooping like Drew Carey. Matter of fact, let's pull. Let's do it. Yeah. Matter of fact.
I'm picturing the glasses. I'm just picturing seeing that. Not the goggles like Horace Grant, but actual like frames on his face. And he's just out there just hooping. With Showtime.
We got a good one.
They're hooping with Showtime.
Got a good one, my dude. Matter of fact, let me go back. Yeah, I have.
Ready?
You know me, yeah. For those of y'all watching on YouTube, get ready to laugh at this shit.
I know, I'm ready.
This right here. So
I remember him. I remember seeing him. Is that Bill Cartwright?
Where's Cartwright at? Yeah, that's Cartwright with the Knicks.
Is that Bill Cartwright?
Cartwright would play with the Knicks right here.
Bill Cartwright.
That's him right there to you next. There's Cartwright guarding him there. You just get it. He is Kurt fucking Rambis right there. Yeah, so it was him, but a bunch of like black dudes basically on Showtime. That's what Showtime was. Go figure. Yeah. But Rambis got championships, so there you go.
Yeah, he got rings.
He got rings with Showtime.
He got rings with an S.
The resident, every team got to have a resident scrub. Like he was their scrub. He was there.
Like Brian Scalabrine was on
the 08 Celtics, like by Scalabrine.
He got a ring.
KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen Rondo Celtics. Scalabrine was the scrub of that team. He was the Kurt Rambis of that team, basically.
He could forever say championship, NBA champ, Brian Scalabrine. NBA champion, Brian Scalabrine.
Man, he was with the Bulls a couple of years too. Which I think that's Tom Thibodeau's son or some shit like he's got. His illegitimate son. That's why he brought him.
Love child.
Why he brought him here? I don't know.
Love child. It would have been nice to see Scal in a front office position with the Bulls. Because that's what they were grooming him to do.
I thought, he was going to be a coach. That's what I thought. He was part of the coach.
So why he was still here, and I was like, he's probably here because they're about to transition him to be a coach. I mean, people are laughing at him, like, but we always say, like, some of like the scrubbiest players make the best coaches.
Hey, Phil Jackson wasn't a good player; he was average.
Right. But because like they know the game from the inside, they know it, because they're in it, so they know how everything works. So they may not have been able to play that well.
Those that can do, those that can't teach. Like that.
Yeah, there you go. Those who can't teach. Exactly.
Like it's like it
is.
He's like one of those. He wasn't a great player, but he's a great coach. So yes, like those who can't teach. There you go. But just but it did become racial during that one. That's where this whole thing started. Yeah, no, and let's forget what we talking about too. Boston in the 80s.
Boston in the 80s.
Come on, yeah.
Even whatchamacallit was part of that. And he said that wasn't his proudest moment because Mark Wahlberg admitted that he was involved in some of those riots in the 80s because he was a different person then. He's like, even he was involved in that. So
it was before Good Vibrations and shit.
Good Vibrations.
Before the Funky Bunch and shit.
Funky Bunch.
But and then with a Bad Boy, the 30 for 30 Bad Boys is another great documentary too, basketball, which they touched on that as well too. Because after the Steal by Bird thing, I think then Dennis Rodman made a comment about the only reason people like Larry Bird is because he's white. Shit.
Yeah.
Then Isaiah doubled down, and that's when it became a whole thing and shit because Rodman said it like nobody cared. Rodman was kind of a scrub at that time. It was like 87, something like that. So like nobody really cared. Put that. Once Isaiah said it, now like he's the star of the team. So now it became front page news and shit. Yeah. And people already didn't like the Bad Boys, and now you're going after the Great White Hope. It's like people already didn't like that team. So they had to have a fucking sit down with Isaiah.
Yeah. Okay, I remember
Bird was
that.
Like, hey, I don't care, man. I just want to play basketball.
I just want to play
Bird
basketball.
didn't care about the cut. So y'all are making a big deal about it more than him. He's like, Bird's like, I don't care. I just want to hoop. Yeah.
But you can tell that Bird, his whole life, he probably got it because it's like, because Bird was like a goofy looking white guy, and it's like he had the mustache and then the hair, the feathered hair and the mustache.
From French.
He looked goofy as hell. He did. But you see this goofy ass dude get on the court, you're like, okay, he gonna beat me, okay. And then he hit you with one of them and hit you with that, and you like, oh, okay.
And Bird, low key, is one of the greatest trash talkers in history. Like he does. Well, a lot of people don't because he looked like he's a big goofy looking white dude. Bird, he could talk some shit with the best of them. He's one of the greatest shit talkers in NBA history, but people don't really think about it.
You know who they said low-key was a good trash talker? I don't know if you saw this on their podcast. The Steven was that podcast. That podcast. KG was on there, and KG talked about a person that you would never think about as being a good trash talker. He said Tim Duncan. I was like, what? Because he said it wasn't like he would like, he would just be like, now why'd you do that shot? He would just talk like, now you know that was dumb. And then he'd just be like,
drop 40 on you. Like it'd be like, calm.
Just stuff like that. It would just be something like that, yeah. Or if you make
another one on the like, what was the show? Open Court. That was the one on NBA TV, I think. Yeah, Open Court. That show, right?
Open Court. Yeah.
Kerr talked about the one of the greatest tries that he played against. He said was John Stockton. Yeah, so another one.
I can see that.
And Kerr was like, "Yeah, John Stockton was a dirty bastard. Hey, he hated playing against Stockton. He's like, hey, yeah, he was a dirty bastard.
Stockton was a beast. He was.
Who also was part of that '84 class we mentioned. That '84 class.
Yeah. It was deep.
Like I said, there's the big debate again. This might be a fucking basketball episode. It's the debate there, like 84, 96, 03. Which one? Which is the greatest draft class of all time? 84. It's one of those classes, like, by the way. I got my order. I'll say 84 obviously had Jordan, but I think overall as the depth, I think 96, 84, and then 03 was probably the worst out of those three. Yeah, that's my picks. Yeah. Want to break them down? Let's bring the list back up. Let's get Kurt Rambis out of here first.
Put some respect on Kurt Rambis. He's an NBA champion.
Yeah. With Showtime, goddammit. Not with any champion. With Showtime, one of the greatest dynasties of all time. He was part of
champion.
Part of that. Let's start with 1984 draft. Yeah.
Okay. You got Olajuwon, Jordan.
Barkley. Yeah. Okay, I got the class. Barkley. Yeah, I got the class. I've got the list. Let's pull it up, kid. Okay. Here we go. Hakeem Olajuwon, number 1 overall of Houston. Sam, already told you how I feel about him. Michael Jordan, 3 from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Sam Perkins, Jordan's teammate. I think that was his roommate in college too. I think him and Perkins were college roommates.
Okay, nice.
Smooth. Yeah. Chuck went number 5. Is Melvin Turnbull? I don't know. I have no idea who the fuck this guy is. He don't even have a picture on Wikipedia.
You hover over him.
Alvin Robinson, Lancaster Gore. Otis Thorpe, I remember he was with Houston, won a championship with Olajuwon. Kevin Willis, okay, another solid player. I'm going to skip it over the bums if you notice. Yeah.
Stockton.
Michael K, John Stockton went 16. So this bum, Terrence Stanberry, got drafted ahead of John Stockton. There we go. Michael Cage, I remember he had a curl and shit. That's what I remember about him. He had the cold curl and shit back in the day.
Did he let his soul glow?
Yeah, glow and shit. That's all I remember about Michael Cage. He had cold curl. Jeff Turner, I remember. Okay, now we get in the scrub territory. Let's see if we know.
Earl Jones. What?
I don't even know who that is.
Like James Earl Jones? Earl Jones?
Right, his son and shit. He said, Earl Jones. Yeah, I am your father. That's what he said. Earl Jones. Said, do you know your father? I am your father.
I'm petty.
Let's see if there's anybody in the lower ranks that, okay, Jerome Kersey, I remember him. He was with Portland. I remember he was part of the Portland
team. I remember that name, Kersey. I remember
he was on the Portland team that played the Bulls. And
that's where I know that name.
Right, and shit, he was on that Portland team that played the Bulls.
Okay.
Some second round picks, nothing special here. Any undrafted players? Not really. Okay, so let's go. We're going to come out of that and then go to 96 next. We're going to do them chronologically. That's how I want to do them. So, like I said, we had the heavy hitters, Olajuwon, Jordan, Barkley, Stockton. So, that's a hell of a talent right there.
They were heavy on top. So, maybe 96 might have the barrel overall.
That's why I'm breaking them down. Because that's your starting 4 right there. You only need a small forward to go with them. It's like, yeah.
Right.
You got Stockton at the point, Jordan at the 2, Barkley at the 4, Olajuwon at the 5. It's like all you would need is a small forward, and you got you a solid squad.
Yeah, you ain't being them.
You got you a solid squad right there. And weren't all of them on the dream team? I think they were. Yeah.
I
think they were all on the dream team. So there you go. Every one of them. So he's put Pippen or Bird in the 3rd spot.
I say if you put Pippen or Bird, yeah.
Bird, you got it. That's your there's your squad right there.
That's going 82-0. All right.
Who's the greatest small forward of all time? Is it Bird or is it LeBron? There's a debate.
You're gonna have people clutching their pearls.
I'll say LeBron James, but that's just my opinion. Once again, these are my opinions. I think LeBron is past Larry Bird, but Bird is number 2. Yeah.
Blasphemy. You have the people.
A small forward, I think LeBron's number 96. Here we go. Allen Iverson, number 1.
Allen Iverson.
Marcus Camby, number 2. Solid. Okay. Sharif Abdul-Rahim, another dope one. Yeah.
Okay.
Steph Marbury, he was great. Before he fell off. And then he became a legend in China.
And like the aware of China, yeah.
Yeah. Ray Allen, 5. You had a solid 6 right here already. Solid 6. Those top 6 was solid.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anybody bad yet.
Yeah, all of them had great careers. So yeah. Shout out Chi-Town Twan right there. Yeah. Lorenzen Wright, you remember? Yeah, that was you remember that?
Yeah, that awful story. Yeah, that awful story with his crazy wife, crazy lady.
Kerry Kittles at 8, another good player. Kerry Kittles was he was part of the Nets team.
Yeah, I remember Kerry Kittles. I remember him.
Jason Kidd, Kenyon Martin Nets that went to the finals. You remember that team?
Yeah, I remember that.
Kittles. Samaki Walker, he was kind of a bum.
Okay. Dan Pierre, I remember.
Dan Pierre he had a good career.
I remember Dan Pierre. I remember him.
Todd Fuller was a scrub.
I don't know who he is.
And here's a trivia question right here. You pronounce this dude's name right here? Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Vitaly Potapenko.
Like to me, it depends. It's all subjective because I said Vitaly Potapenko, I said Vitaly Potapenko. That's what I said. So it's all subjective. Yeah, but who cares though? Because the next pick was the Black Mamba. Yeah, and that's what he's a trivia question. The guy that drafted before Kobe was the Vitaly Potapenko or Potapenko, whatever you want to call it. You're from Ukraine. You don't fuck with motherfucking Ukrainians, so I'm not gonna talk that much shit about him. Man, I'm not gonna talk too much shit about him because he's a motherfucking Ukrainian. So there we go. So let's just move.
Peja
Stojakovic, 14. Okay. Steve Nash, 15.
Steve Nash
went 15 in his draft.
Nash.
Steve Nash went 15 in his draft. Yeah. That's why I say 96 was the best. It's the deepest. Tony Delk was all right. Jermaine O'Neal, I just talked about him on the Malice. The Malice. John Wallace, he was kind of a scrub with the Knicks. Okay. McCarty, he was all right.
Big Z.
Roy Rogers, he was good. He had another tragic story. He, I believe he's in a motorcycle accident. I want to say he's paralyzed now. Yeah, like from the neck down. So he had a tragic ending. But in his prime, he was pretty badass when he was a player.
Because he got Vancouver Grizzlies. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When that was a thing, the Grizzlies when they were in Vancouver. Yeah.
Fish went 24.
I forgot Fisher was in this class. I forgot about that.
Let's see who else. Like now we got back in scrub territory. Priest Lauderdale and Travis Knight, who the Bulls took, and he never even played for the Bulls during that time. Bulls traded him immediately. Bulls traded this dude immediately.
And this is why you don't talk, because this is what can happen. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing for the Bulls. No, you're not.
And this was 96. Bulls had just won 72 games in the title. And you get drafted, you like, yeah.
You call everybody on the phone.
About to get me a championship.
You call everybody, yeah. I just got drafted by the Bulls. I'm gonna be on the Bulls. You call everybody
to a terrible team. That's the fun. Okay, now we're in scrub territory. Let's see any other interesting names down here. Hey, most of these second rounders are scrubs, I want to say.
Yeah.
But undrafted. Okay, Ben Wallace, undrafted. So yeah. Ben Wallace, the greatest undrafted player of all time.
Yeah.
One of the Barry boys went in the second round too. Drew Barry.
Okay, Drew Barry, yeah.
That's the because there was three of the Barry boys: Brent Barry, John Barry. Drew was the scrub of the three. Yeah, hey, he was the scrub. It's like Brent was probably the best, and then John was pretty good too. They both won titles with San Antonio. Drew, not so much. He was a scrub.
So what's the family dance like when they would have like the holiday dance?
Had their rings and then
had their rings like so.
And their father was a Hall of Fame ring Barry and shit. So there we go.
But they had their rings like so.
It's just like the Manning boy. It's a Manning that nobody knows. Everybody knows Peyton and Eli. I think they got another brother that nobody knows.
Yeah, I think I saw him on a commercial with them because they get the man. Yeah, he's on a commercial with them.
He's a scrub, yeah.
So they all look the same. They all got the same nose. But they all look exactly the same. All the Mannings look alike. So
Peyton Manning, Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Eli, he had a run. I always said Eli kind of sucked, but he won championships though, so he wasn't that bad. He won 2 Super Bowls, so yeah, he wasn't that horrible. Then there's the other one whose name I don't even know. Now let's go to the 03 draft class, which I say was the last of the 3, which is that's not a knock, because it's a pretty damn good class. If you like one of the 3 greatest draft classes of all time, it's not a knock.
Look at all the people that were in 96. That's just ridiculously.
I saw how deep that class was. Even the undrafted, like Ben Wallace was part of that class.
Yeah.
Undrafted guys, yeah. So even that undrafted class was like, yeah, okay. LeBron James, number 1, obviously. Darko Milicic, number 2. That's like the Sam Bowie of this class. Then you have
Carmelo Anthony.
3, Bosh at 4, Wade at 5. Then
so that's why I stopped real quick. So that's why that was so like when they put together the big 3, you got
3 top 5 picks on one team. It's like, yeah. It's like Tupac, two of the most wanted in the same motherfucking place at the same motherfucking.
It's like if you have a decathlon team, like I'm going nerdy right now. You have a decathlon team, you got the valedictory, salutatory, and the number 3 player, and the number 3 student, and you put them all on a team. It's like, okay.
Or like I said with what we were talking about earlier, like I said with Young Money, yeah, Drake, Wayne, and Nicki Minaj all on the same label. Yeah, and this is like they were all hot at the same time, like top in the charts, all 3 of them. So that's what that was like. Yeah, it's like Drake.
Chris K, man. Okay,
Captain Kirk at 7. You remember the caveman, Chris K? You remember him?
I remember Caveman. I remember Chris Caveman.
Yeah. They called him the Caveman because he looked like a caveman.
The cave. Yeah, he did. He looked like the guy called Caveman.
Mm-hmm. Captain Kirk, TJ. Sweetney was kind of a bomb. I remember the Knicks took him. Jarvis.
Collison.
Petrus was decent. Collison, he's a Thunder legend. Yeah. Rittenhauer. David West, he's a beast. He's one of them tough bastards.
Yeah, he was. He's a dark alley guy.
Diao, he won some titles with San Antonio.
I remember him.
He won one with San Antonio. I said, yeah, he won a championship with them. Kendrick Perkins,
Perkins.
Perk went 27. Josh Howard, he was with Dallas. Luke Walton, let's go.
Oh, wow.
Luke Walton, second round. Lakers took him. Steve Blake, you remember him? He was with the Lakers.
I remember Blake. I remember Steve Blake, yeah.
Zaza Pachulia. Steve Bogans, baby. Worst two guard in Bulls history. Let's go. Mo Williams, 47 overall. Good pick right there. Okay. He won the title with the Cavs. Kyle Korver, 51. One of the greatest shooters of all time. James Jones. How you skip with James Jones? I'm not gonna let you shit on the great James Jones. God damn it. I won't let you shit on the great James Jones, who went to 8 straight finals like LeBron, but didn't get the credit.
Right, because they said the file is not the files unless you see James Jones.
Not like the great James Jones. So him and LeBron even got drafted together. That's how linked they were. Yeah, they were the same. LeBron was one. James Jones was way down here. Was 49th overall, but LeBron.
They still made it to the finals 8 years in a row.
We got undrafted. Anybody interesting? Marquise Daniels, I remember him.
Okay, I remember Marquise Daniels.
I remember. I think
Jose Calderon, I remember. I remember Calderon. Jose Calderon.
Yeah.
I remember him.
He had a good career. So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. He might still be playing. Like, that's a good who he played for. Calderon might still
I remember that name, Calderon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think LeBron and Carmelo might be the last two standing from that team, because Kyle Korver retired a couple of years ago. Unless Calderon is still playing, I don't know if he is. But LeBron and Carmelo might be the last two guys. I'm just watching Carmelo. He was on an episode of The Shop. You know, the Maverick show on HBO. Mm-hmm. Basically, just like them, it's like a real barbershop. They sit around talking shit. That's what
just talking, about topics.
And Carmelo was talking about the time when he was out of the league. Remember, a couple of years ago, we talked about him on this podcast. Is Carmelo's career over?
Yeah, because Ice Cube was saying he should join the Big Three. Ice Cube. I
had Cube on my show around that time when I talked about Carmelo. I wanted Carmelo on the Big Three. Mm-hmm. I thought his NBA career is over, and that he Portland, he made a comeback. Yeah, Portland gave him a shot. And now he's with the Lakers. So he was talking about his journey getting back to the NBA. Because, he got a son and shit, and he was talking about, having to talk to his son. Because son would be like, you better than that guy. He looking like bums in the league and point him out.
Kion.
Yeah, he's like, why aren't you playing? Like, he's in the league. You better than. See, there's a lot of bums. like Felicio, like Archie Diacono, like Archie Diacono. You look at guys like that, it's like, why is he in the league and you're not? Dad?
You're not, You
gotta look at
kids, and like we said, kids are the most. If you want to hear some honesty, talk to a kid. Because kids will be honest with your ass. They will let you know, look.
It's like that's an injustice. Felicio was getting paid $8 million.
$8 million a year
out of the league. Shit at that time. Think about how unfair that shit is.
Like somebody gave him a job, but not me.
Yeah, because his son did ask him, like, how's this guy in the league and you're not? Yeah. So it was like mad scrubs.
It was.
And I don't know if you was talking about that's just what my mind went. I was thinking about was bull scrubs. Like Felicio, Felicio got a contract and shit.
Getting mad money. Getting mad money.
But it's been a good basketball episode. We got NBA kicking off. I say about a month from now, because like right now we gearing up for NFL season. We really should have done an NFL preview, to be honest.
I don't follow NFL as well as basketball. Like I said, I'm just kind of
getting back into NFL. I took a break for a while. It had nothing to do with Kaepernick. I know that's what everybody's thinking. To me, like the Bears have been so bad for so long, I lost interest. I just naturally stopped watching. Khalil Mack coming on sparked my interest a little bit, but I didn't care. It's like Justin Fields got me legit interested again.
Well, I told you my Khalil. I've told my Khalil Mack story on the podcast. Well, Marcus woke up Khalil because we got Khalil and he screamed and woke the baby up.
You the one that discovered it. You like, who is Khalil Mack? And then
because like, I just saw somebody with my son's name in there. I was like, who's this Khalil Mack guy? And then he snatches the phone out of my hands like, fuck yeah, he coming to the fuck yeah. He started screaming. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Just a little bit like Khalil Mack. Okay.
What is wrong? And then the baby started crying. He's like, yeah, he started talking to Khalil saying, your namesake is coming to the Bears. And then like some of our friends called Khalil 52. They was like, yeah, hey 52, because like Khalil Mack. I'm like, yeah, like Khalil Mack. Yeah. So but we are excited about Justin Fields.
Got him a little baby Khalil Mack jersey. Did you get him one yet?
I haven't yet. I need to get him a little baby. Jersey, yeah. Give him a baby Khalil Mack. But I am interested in seeing Justin Fields. So, like, my plan is, like I said, obviously this season we didn't prepare for it, but next season we can prepare ahead of time.
And COVID is still out there.
And COVID is still a thing. So
I feel like going to a lot of places. So
I don't.
Yeah.
I pick
and
choose.
Kanye thing was an exception. I really don't like going to.
Yeah, that's what I said. I pick and choose. And I wore my mask the whole time when I was sitting in Soldier Field. Even though we were outside, I had on a mask the whole time. I'm like, nope. Mask on the whole time. I was like, nope.
Where I go, I don't like going a lot of places.
Ain't fucking with these people. I was like, nope. I pick and choose where I go. So.
Mud volleyball, this sort of thing. I'm picking. I haven't done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I pick and choose my battles.
Yeah.
And I still mask up, and then I take I have like immune boosters I take before I go. Like I have like my immune stuff I take to like boost my immune system up some more.
By next year, this bullshit will be over. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Maybe things will be back to normal, kind of, like next year.
Because then we're like over 2 years in. Because it's COVID-19. It'll be 2022. So it's like, it's over 2 years now. Like we got, come on.
How does it end? That's what I keep saying.
Come on now.
I'm watching. How does it end? That's all I want to know. But that's going to do it for not another damn podcast. We did an unofficial NBA episode. That might be what we call it, the unofficial NBA episode.
Sending prayers out to everybody who's affected by Hurricane Ida. Definitely.
Oh, yeah. Whether you're in the South or you're on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Because people don't know about storms travel.
They do.
It's like they die because, like, think about most of the time, like when let's say, for example, like when Hurricane Katrina hit, we're not gonna go along with this because we already
right.
When Hurricane Katrina hit back like 16 years ago, it rained in Chicago. Let's say like maybe 3 or 4 days later, we got a big rain, but like
we did.
That was the residue of Hurricane Katrina. It had died off, but it had softened up.
Right. By the time it got to us, it had like.
That happens with hurricanes. Like a lot of times in these parts, you would get a rainfall, like
heavy rain, yeah.
But it was still strong hitting the East Coast, yeah, because New Jersey, they got hit hard, yeah. And I saw some of the videos people were posting from out there. Imagine being in the subway and shit in the sun. You just on the train, the tunnel just fills with water.
Oh my God!
Like that is like yeah. And
I can't imagine
how to evacuate that shit. You don't want to get because like the third rail in water, like you nervous, like what do I do? How do I get out of here? And shit, yeah. So it was crazy, like trying to get out of that damn tunnel and shit. Don't want to step down in that water and say, with that electricity and shit, yeah. But you don't want to stay in the train either. What if the water keeps rising? Yeah, so you don't know how much water is gonna pour into that tunnel. So scary shit, yeah. But I was watching videos, and the New York subway like getting flooded out. I'm like, wow, yeah, I can't even imagine that shit. But definitely, my people on the Gulf Coast and on the East Coast, be safe, take care of yourself.
Be safe, prayers. People, if you can donate resources, do your resources. Like I said, if 2020 taught us anything, it's taught you to be kind and to be, a better person, hopefully. So be a better person and be kind and help out, help out your fellow man, basically.
But you could show our Facebook fan page of love or show us some love by giving us a like. I was giving it like that, yeah, because I appreciate each and every one of you. Give us some likes, yeah. You know how we do it. Also, you subscribe, share, rate, review on all your platforms. I'm talking about Apple Podcast, Spotify, TuneIn, SoundCloud, iHeart, the birthday girl, TLC Talk Radio. What up, Tasha?
Happy birthday, Tasha!
45. Let's do it, girl. Yeah. I don't know if I'll put your business out there, but hey, do your thing.
She put it on there. She told her age.
Why I said it, I know.
We over 40 and fabulous. So yes.
Also, you can check us out on our Amazon Alexa devices. And if you want to check us out on YouTube, I got to get it right. Yeah, you got the guns out and everything. Let's see. That boy cool. And follow me at Ozman the Wizard on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Oz Radio on Snapchat and Facebook. You know how we do it.
And you can check me out, MSIMH626 on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Also, SCR8GULOEY1 on Twitter, SCR8GULOEY7 on Instagram. Also, please like the Straight Gully Facebook fan page. Check out straightgully.com for your blogs and your vlogs. And for your video production needs, check out straightgullyproductions.com.
I'm Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima.
We will talk to you later. I'm gone.